Good day everyone, I'm Ashtred and I'm going to take you on a journey in geometry. Now, I will guide you from the basics to more complex problems. Let us start immediately. Right? So let us find out why geometry is so important. Now, geometry is defined as the section in mathematics dealing with points, lines and shapes. So here I have a few examples. There we have examples of points on a line. We have a triangle there for you. We have a rectangle and we have a cylinder. So it's that section in mathematics dealing with points, lines, shapes and space. Now the world is made up of different shapes and spaces, therefore geometry is also very important, and we have a few examples here. There we have a table and you can see immediately a rectangle there. There we have an apple, a round sphere, and there we have a book, and again we see a shape there. So it also actually helps us to understand the measurements and relationships of lines, angles, surfaces and solids in everyday life. Right, okay, now we are going to master the basics in our first lesson. So in lesson 1 we will start with the basics of geometry, that they are the points, the lines, the line segments and rays. They are also the building blocks of geometry, and we use them to create all sorts of geometric shapes. Now once you master these basics, we will continue with building angles in our next lessons. Now these lessons are about learning with pleasure, because fun plus learning equals the best educational experience. So start with chapter 1. This is our first lesson, the basics. Now let us revise what we already know about the points, the line segments, the rays and the lines. And we start with a point again. Now a point is represented by a dot, and you can see there red dot, blue dot, and we give names to our points by using capital letters. The name of this point is M, name of that point is P. Then we have a small point there, A, and another one there, because a point may be any position in space, and this is space here, and it has no size. You can even see here, we can't see the point, but it's marked A, and we can see the point there, it's marked B. So let us just go over that again. A point is represented by a dot, right? Capital letters to give them names, and it can be any position in space, and it has no size. Now we continue with the next one, that is our line. And here a line has no endpoints, and to show you that I have an arrow there and an arrow there. That actually show us that it extends infinitely in both directions. Look at the symbol. We have a little line on top of the 2 points AB, and immediately you know we are talking about line AB. Right, now we go to the line segment. What is a line segment? Now it's that part of a line that connects 2 points. Here we have point A and there we have point B, and this part is our line segment. So it's only a part of a line, and you can actually measure this, right? Because it has 2 endpoints. Now what is our symbol? Our symbol is just a segment or a line segment over AB, and you read it as line segment AB. Now the next one is our ray. A ray has 1 fixed point. That is our fixed point there. We call that fixed point A. And the other point has no end. So it doesn't end there. It goes right through point B into the direction, into the right side, right? Infinitely to the right side. What do we call this? Ray AB. So we have line segment AB, 2 endpoints. We have 1 endpoint here and infinitely to the right, and we call this a ray. Now the figure below, I want you to look at it. I want you to take out your pen and a piece of paper or your little book. You must have a book to work in. So I want you quickly to write down all the line segments that you see there. I'll just give you a hint. 2 endpoints. Write it down for me. All line segments. Okay. Right. I'm certain that you are finished now. So our first line segment runs from that point there, A, to that point there, E. And we always try to write our answer in alphabetical order. So I'll write it like this. Line segment A, E. Right? And you must have the symbol there. Right? Because the next person that look at this must know 2 endpoints. So we have AE. We can call it EA also, but we always try to write it in alphabetical order. The next one, CD. Right? C and D. Don't forget, you must have your symbol there. Okay. And you can write it as DC. It's not wrong, but try to write it in alphabetical order. Okay. Write down for me all the rays. 1 endpoint, the other point infinitely to the right or to the left. Write it down. Okay. Okay. I'll start because we have the answers on the last slide. So our first one, we start here by A and we go into this direction. We go right through E, down like that, and we write it like this: A and E. Okay, so this show us we started by A and we go into the E direction. But we can also start by E, by point E. And we can go into the A direction. Start by and go into the A direction. But as long as you have your symbol there, so this symbol shows start by E, go to the A direction. Another one, C, D. Start by C, go into the D direction. C, G. Right. And we can also start by D and go into the C direction. Start by D and go into the C direction. You see there. Okay. Lastly, all the lines. How many lines do you see there? I see 2 lines. Okay, write it down. And we write it down as A, E. And don't forget, you must have your symbol. This time it's 2 arrows. One to the right, one to the left. And we see the other one is CD. CD. One to the left and one to the right. There we have it. Now number 2 will follow now. Okay. This one is more complicated. So in the following figure, 2 lines intersect. Let me show you. The line's name is AB and CD. Intersect or they cross. Right. So write down all the lines for me. Okay. Write down all the lines. So the two main lines, they are, okay, they are AB, A, B, and the other line is CD. But now I'm going to show you something else. You see that point there, AE? Did this line stop there? No. This line also started by A and went right through E and right through B. So we can write it as AE also. Right? A, as long as you have your symbol at the top. What does that tell us? It tells us it starts by A, it moves through E, but it doesn't stop by E, and through B. So AE is basically very similar to AB. Now the same with CD. CD, or it can go CE. Right, start by C and it can move through that E. Okay, so it can be CE, it can also be DE. It doesn't start really by D, but that is the point that we can see. So D, E. Okay, so the two main ones, they are A, B and C, D. But we can also write it as AE, we can write it as BE, and we can write this as CE or GE. Now the next one, find two pairs of opposite rays. Okay, find two pairs of opposite rays. Opposite means this side and that side, this side and that side. I'll give you a few seconds to write it down while I clean the board. Okay, don't worry, the answers, they are all on the next slide if you want to revise this again. Right, so we will write down now the two opposite rays. Okay, here we go. A ray have a starting point and infinitely to left or right. Okay, so you must have a starting point. So the starting point is not A, the starting point is E, A, right? E, A, and EA is opposite EB. It's opposite EB. Look how I write it. Starting point and the arrow. They say two pairs of opposite rays. So another pair will be not CE, right? It will be the starting point is E. And it moves through C. And opposite EC is EG. Start by E and it goes through point. What did I do here? No, that is wrong. Okay, let me just clean this because I don't want to confuse you. Where's my eraser? Right, I must clean that board there. Let me start again. Right, so we have E, C, and start by E, continue by C, and then we have EG, E and G. Now lastly, I want you to write down 6 line segments, right? What is a line segment? A line segment has 2 end points. Right? You have your first one? Write down all 6 for me, quickly. Okay, I'll start with the answers. You can still write them down if you're not finished. My first one will be this big one, A, B. You can write it in any order as long as you have all the 6 answers that I will eventually give you. So our first one is A, B there. A, B. Okay, don't forget symbol. A, B. But we also have A, E. A, E. Symbol. Then we also have, so we have A, B, A, E, and maybe B, E. Just remember, you can write it in any order. I just try to write it in alphabetical order all the time. Okay, that's our first 3. So we move A, B, A, E, and E, B. So the next one will be C, D. Right? It will be E, C or C, E. C, E. And what do we have? C, D, E, C, and G, E. 6 of them. Okay, so this was our first lesson, basics. Right? In our next lesson, we will continue building an angle. But I also want to show you that on our next page, we have all the answers for you. So if you want to revise it, you can do it again. Fantastic. So we finish for the day. Next lesson, we will build angles. Thank you so much.